boxing, bro. Just do your thing, bro. You tired already? Where's your gas tank at? Damn, you already gassed? This is take two. You already get what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican bad man Sergio, aka the floor price guy. And we're combat sport guys coming back to you with another UFC full card breakdown, this time in the form of UFC Vegas 117. Arnold, bro, did you get tired again? I'm sorry. We have Arnold Allen taking on
No, bro, let's go.
Costa in a 5 round featherweight bout at the UFC Apex. But prior to getting into this fight card, we'll talk about last week where Hamzat Chimaev pulled guard in the second round, bro, and lost a unanimous decision against Sean Strickland to lose his middleweight title. Before we get into that, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I mean, I'm pretty good, but let me just kind of recap. I mean, a couple different bets, right? Um, money line Van 145. Got let me see. It was a couple very interesting fights. Kopylov Tulio over for minus 110. And then we did a lot of live bets. We ended up getting
I
what
got the
was
live
it?
bets here. We got
Ochoa.
we gave you some dog money parlays. We gave you Pat Sabatini, Roman Kopylov at a plus 316. We gave you Jim Miller at a plus 225. We gave you a 3-pick parlay at a plus 364 with Sabatini, King Green, and Joshua Van. We also gave you Joshua Van, as we mentioned, as a straight money line play. Really good night. I think the
Jim
big
Miller. Hey, y'all gonna pay Jim Miller, baby?
Jim Miller, yeah, Jim Miller.
If
But
somebody
I
gets
think the biggest takeaway is Joshua Van in that fight, like how good his takedown defense looked, right? His takedown defense looked really good. And we know Tatsuro Taira tends to gas out in later rounds, and his striking isn't there. I think for him to get to that next level, he's going to have to work on his striking technique and his uh, entries, right, as the fight progresses, and his cardio overall. Because first 2 rounds he looks good, he looks solid, and then he kind of just fades away. His entries are a little more telegraphed. His takedown attempts are a little more sloppy. He gets hit. He's gonna have to touch up on those things. But yeah, man, Joshua Van, it's him.
And if you followed us on X, live betting, Sean Strickland, it was a no brainer. Somebody asked me, why did you pick Sean Strickland for plus 600? Sorry, plus four, dude, because it's live betting. I'm not. Sometimes like I'm basing it based off the fight. Who do you think won that fight? You give it to Strickland?
I think that fight goes down to the third round and what you value most, right? And whether it's the consistent jab and pace that Strickland put, because he was the one pushing the pace for a good portion of that fight. Like he was having Chimaev on the back foot, right? Just throwing
I
out
gave
that jab.
I
Hmm?
gave him 2-3, but I'm asking the fifth. Who do you give the fifth
I
to?
thought the third round it came down to. The fifth round I gave it to Chimaev, but I thought he lost the third round.
Then he would have won. I
He
think
won the
everybody.
first and the fifth.
I think the biggest thing, and Chimaev couldn't take him down in the fifth, and then there was that jab that Strickland was landing, but the problem is Chimaev was pressing. So the whole thing about octagon control is like you're pressing your opponent, right? And I'm wondering if a lot of people are like, well, you know what? Even though Strickland outlanded him, Chimaev was pressing. But the thing is, he was just landing that jab over and over to the face, right? So I think it's the fifth in my eyes, but we're here to disagree, right? But
Yeah, I disagree. I think it's just unfortunate, man, because we talked about like him potentially getting into a striking bout with Strickland, and Strickland's a far better striker, right? He's more defensively sound. He can pump out that jab, throw out that teep. But yeah, man, it is what it is, right? He's
he
gonna
was
move up to light heavyweight. Strickland's probably gonna fight Imavov, and we'll see what happens.
yeah, and at times he was out dogging him too, to the point. But he said you got to land striking, man. You got to put and yeah, I'm like Strickland minus 180. I wish I would have like had a little bit more money in the tank at the end of the round because I think Hamza closed at a minus 600. So I would have slapped a little bit of money on that. But yeah, bro, let's get on this card, baby.
Right on. Let's get onto this card. We have Shauna Bannon taking on Nicole Cagliari to kick off UFC Vegas 117. If you remember last time out, Shauna Bannon lost to Sam Hughes via submission. Cagliari last lost to Carly Judice via KO. when I look at both these girls, I feel like Cagliari has fought the tougher competition, right? She's fought Carricate and then Carly Judice, and we've seen how good Carly Judice's striking is, right? She has yet to get a win in the UFC. She's taking on Shauna Bannon, who is 2-2 in the UFC, right? She lost her debut to Bruna Brazil, and then she beat Alice Ardelean via split decision, with which Alice Ardelean came in on short notice for that fight. And then she beat Pooja Tamar via submission, but in that fight, uh, Tamar kind of gave her that, gave her that submission, right?
Yeah,
She gave her that submission, and then up against Sam Hughes, she lost via submission, and she talks about how she wasn't mentally ready for that fight, like it was a bad fight camp. Like remember, she talked about it after the fact, and
she was
she even
injured.
said it in the octagon. What happened?
She was also talking about how she was injured.
She's talking about she was injured and how she didn't even want to fight and she didn't want to be there to begin
Why
with.
take
I
the
mean, I
fight?
think that's what she said. But you look at Bannon, she's a striker with the kickboxing foundation. She utilizes her leg kicks pretty well. She's light on her feet. She moves around. She bounces well. She does have that kind of like that goofy style. A lot of people knock her for. She has that judo background. She's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but she doesn't initiate takedowns or really do anything once on the ground, right? She hasn't used this that much and finds herself fighting off her back, oftentimes losing control in those situations. She's going up against Nicole Cagliari, who, in my opinion, has the better boxing between the two. She can fight well in the clinch. She throws knees prior to securing takedowns. Once on the ground, she works and chases submissions. I think this fight is very simple to call. If you're on the side of Shauna Bannon, you think she's going to be able to pick and pop, move on the outside, be light on her feet, not let Nicole Cagliari get close, utilize that boxing and take her down. Or you're on the side of Cagliari, which you believe that she's going to be able to get in the clinch, be able to secure those takedowns, expose Shauna Bannon's ground game just a little bit. I think Cagliari is probably the better fighter overall, and she has fought the tougher competition since coming in. So I'm gonna go with Cagliari here to get her first win.
Yeah, and the topology community agrees that Bannon is taking this just like 60%. I mean, you called it correctly. Is this going to be a move and jab clinic, right? Is Cagliari not able to kind of close the distance, land leg kicks? Because that's the thing about it, right? If I'm Cagliari, I'm fighting Bannon. Those leg kicks, baby, they're going to be there, right? You could, and then I'm clinching, moving inside, trying to take you down. We saw how
Yeah.
neglected this woman's takedown defense is, and I understand that Sam Hughes is a good grappler, right? That's what you kind of have broken down. And I saw some fights, and I was like, nah, there's no way. But I also feel like Shauna Bannon, is unpredictable, right?
Yeah.
And then like it's so. I wish this fight wasn't even there, bro. This fight is. I feel like they pair them up. Like
Well,
they
this is also going to be Cagliari's debut at strawweight. She's coming down from 125, so hopefully the weight cut is good. I do follow her on Instagram. I do see her post, so it looks like she has stayed in shape, and hopefully she's not too depleted, too dehydrated. But we'll see if this weight class is better for her, right? Maybe being up there at flyweight, the girls were a little bigger, a little lengthier, right? And she was finding herself on the losing end a lot of times. So we'll see how she does
Yeah, I'm gonna
being
go
at
with
strawweight.
Cagliari. I just don't trust. Like I don't. Even if Bannon comes in and has an excellent first round, I don't trust her to keep the momentum because of she's shown signs of inconsistency. Like I'm a belief. Like I get it, you got to get paid, but don't be taking fights if you're
Well,
not.
I saw on her Instagram, she posted how she feels really good about this camp, compared to her last one, and she's ready to show people, who are doubting her, like yourself, uh, what she's capable of. So, I mean, if you're on the side of Shauna Bannon, I do see a potential path for victory, but I'm gonna go with Cagliari here. Moving into a new weight class, gonna be able to take the fight to the ground and kind of test her black belt.
And we've seen that people at flyweight division, like you got the champ Wang. She went up. Wang? Yeah, Willie Zhang, Willie Zhang, not Wang. Zhang went up, and man, like it was just, she found out real quickly. At least Bannon has reach on her, but I don't think reach will be enough. I think this girl's a little bit thicker. We'll find out.
Right on. We're both on the side of Cagliari. We'll move on to our next bout. We have Daniel Barres taking on Luis Guru. Guru is looking for his first UFC win after going 0-3 in the promotion. He lost to Ode Osborne via KO. He lost to Luis Aguilar in a striking bout. And then he lost to Alden Correa via unanimous decision. He's coming up against Daniel Barres, who has had uh, kind of a tough spell as well, right? He's 1-2 in the promotion. He beat he lost to Rafael Filo via submission. He beat Victor Altamirano via unanimous decision, and he lost to Andre Lima via submission. The Rafael Filio fight, I understand Rafael Filio's bread and butter is the ground game, right? He's able to take him down, secure the submission. And then against Andre Lima, who's primarily a Muay Thai striker, you remember going into that fight, I called that Andre Lima is going to go in there. He's going to look to submit this guy, right? Because Andre Lima has been trying to do that in his previous fights. And he even said it in his last fight prior to that, like, hey, I want to show you guys my jiu-jitsu. I want to show you how good I am. So at a plus 600, we gave you Andre Lima to submit Daniel Barras. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Daniel Barras is a scrub on the ground. He's been getting submitted by really good guys, right? And you look at Luis Garul coming in here, he had a lot of hype because he had that undefeated record. He had that grappling. But if you really look at it and you really look at his stats, he hasn't been successful when it comes to the grappling, right? He went 0-5 against Aguilar, and he lost on the feet. And Aguilar is not he has underrated striking, but he's not a striker, right? Against Korea, he went 1-3. Korea has solid takedown defense. And against Ode Osborne, who can get taken down by everybody, went 1-4.
Nice, bro.
No, bro, he went 1-4, bro. This guy's supposed to be a wrestler who pushes the pace, can mix in the grappling and strikes, and he went 1-4 against Ode Osborne. What are we doing, bro? He knocked him out, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think you picked Ode in that fight too.
I did.
But anyways, you look at Barras. Barras, I understand he's up there in age. He's 37, but he's well-rounded. He's a striker. He has power behind his shots, and he has also some submissions, right? He has 7 knockouts and 6 submission wins. He lost, as I mentioned, to really good people who can grapple and submit you, like Rafael Filio and Daniel Barras. I don't think Luis Garul is the level of those individuals, right? I don't think he's going to be able to dominate, blast doubles, get him on the ground, and look for something. He's also a bit small and undersized for the weight class, in my opinion. But anywho, I'm going to go with Barras here. I think Barras is going to be able to get it done.
I'm gonna go with Gurul gets it done this time, bro. Gurul is my pick.
Right.
I think he's fought the tougher competition. I'll tell you that right now. You look at all these guys, and like Odell almost KO'd.
Wait, you think he's fought tougher competition? Rafael Filio doesn't beat Ode Osborne?
Yeah, but Filo's the one where
Rafael Filio doesn't. No. Andre Lima.
Filo's the
Andre
one.
Lima bite bonus.
Nah,
He doesn't beat Ode Osborne.
I mean, you're right, but at the same time, like it's like whatever you consider a little bit tougher, right? And in my eyes, I think Gurul, like no,
after Filio's last fight, I don't know, bro. We might have to take that back, bro.
No, keep it there. I like. I think Korea is his toughest opposition. I think Korea is a nightmare. You saw what Korea did to Alexandre Costa. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm basing it on that. Like
you heard his foot in that fight though, but yeah, short notice.
I'm gonna give it a Gurul. I think Gurul turns it over. If not, it's time to pack it up, baby. Time to go back to the.
Listen, bro. I think he gets cut, bro. I don't know, bro. 5-5.
Well, but that's why they have, and even the odds have.
I'm just kidding. I'm not. If you're confident that Gurul is going to be able to come in here and get the takedowns and grind out a decision win, kudos to you. I just haven't seen Gurul. Like if Gurul was able to get a bunch of takedowns against an Ode Osborne, a bunch of takedowns against a Korea, a bunch of takedowns against a Jose Aguilar, right? I'd be more impressed. Like, okay, this guy's grappling is top notch, but he's not even successful in that, bro. And on the feet, yeah, he's cool, bro. He can move, he could use his footwork, but it's not putting people out.
No, and like I said, we'll see. We'll see how he can kind of. At least the reach isn't as bad as his other fights. So maybe that's what it is. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, no, and I agree, and I do see a path. I always, when we come to doing these breakdowns, I always try to put out a path to victory for both fighters, right? And which one I'm gonna side with. So I see a path to victory for Luis Garul, definitely. I know I'm talking a little shit, but I do see a path to victory. Next up, though, we have one of your favorite gals. We have Alice Ardelean taking on Poliana Viana. This is trouble for the boys, bro. Like, listen, bro, you being a subscription member to both these women's OnlyFans, bro, are you conflicted? Do you find yourself in a tough spot picking one?
That's crazy.
Listen, you can't even answer. He's lost for words.
Listen, all those nudies, you can find them on Reddit, bro.
So you're bypassing the subscription model?
The Reddit community, bro, has it on lockdown.
That is Crazy. You got to pay these women, bro. Help them out, man. They're struggling. They're on OnlyFans. Give them a little extra commission. Come on, what are we doing?
Uh,
Anyways, we get Alice Ardelian taking on Poliana Viana. Ardelian last beat Montserrat Rendon via unanimous decision. Viana last lost to Jacqueline Amarine via submission. When I look at Pollyanna Viana, she's a grappler, right? She has decent striking. She has some pop behind her shots. She has 5 KOs, 8 submissions. She's kind of a boom or bust fighter, right? She either gets it done or she gets done. Once on the ground, she looks to snatch up submissions. She doesn't have the best offensive grappling and can be taken down. She's going up against Ardelian, who, you know, is on a little streak here. She's on a 2 fight winning streak. She beat Ryan Dos Santos and then she beat Montserrat Rendon. She lost to Melissa Martinez, and that was kind of like a weird. Remember, she got hit to the body in that fight. Was that the one where she got hit to the body and she fell forward and they didn't stop the fight? They just kept going.
mhm.
It was considered technically a knockout, right? Or a TKO. But anyways, she lost that fight, and then she came back and showcased her grit and tenacity against Ryan Dos Santos, winning that striking battle, and then against Montserrat Conejo, right, who's a grappler. She won on the feet. She defended some takedowns. She's not very technical. She is tough and durable. She can be taken down. Uh, you know, she is the bigger girl here. I think after making weight, she's gonna be bigger. She's gonna be difficult to take down. She's going up against Poliana Viana, who's not a good offensive grappler, and to get to Alice Ardelin is gonna be tough for her, right? Because she's gonna be bigger. She's gonna be difficult to bring down to the ground, and I think she's gonna lose on the feet here. So I'm gonna go with Alice Ardelin to get it done.
I would love to. You know what? I'll say this. I said about Guru. I think Boyana has faced the tougher opposition here. Yana has faced the nastier women in the division, and I mean, Ardley in his last couple of fights, she's been content with like striking. So if you can make this a striking match, I will side with Viana. And also, Viana's taking a year off. Why has she taken a year off? Is it to kind
She's
of
doing content, bro. You don't see all her skits with Raul Rosas and Johnny Walker. She's doing content, man. She's busy.
I mean, dude, Asman Lucindo is good. Roberts is good. Amorin also, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a little bit conflicted in terms of, like, I look at Tabitha, like, look at these losses, and I see very tough women versus Ardeling has put it together, but at times, like, it hasn't really been there. But Ardeling has looked turning the curve. Uh, like I said, it's
No,
similar.
you make a good point though too, and a lot of those girls that you mentioned lean towards the grappling more, right? Where they were able to take her down possibly and just control and get to work. How many of those fights were in a finish? I didn't even see that.
How many? Let's see. Rear naked ground, all of them.
Oh, so she's getting choked out, huh?
She's getting choked out, knocked out, ground strikes, and
Yeah, she. Oh, damn, submitted hooks.
yeah. So the question is, like, is Ardelin? But that's the thing. Ardelin hasn't been finishing fights, right? Like, that's the only. Last one was 3 years ago. Um, I don't think she finished this fight. I think this fight goes to distance.
What do you think is better? You think Poliviana striking or her ground game is better?
I think her striking is better.
I think her striking is better.
I think her striking is better than her grappling.
You think she could win a striking bout like on points?
I,
Because the thing about Alice Arden is she does push a pace and she does come forward and she does. I mean, she does have dog in her, bro. Like you're not gonna put her out. I don't think she's gonna get KO'd
no,
here.
no. Well, I mean, it all depends. You just got to click, right? But I
Unless
mean,
Poliviana comes in with the
do we
mindset to
talk
just
about
attack
reach?
the
Do
body,
we talk
and then
about
she comes in with the idea to attack the body. What were you saying?
maybe she does. I mean, like the one thing that's going to hold her back, like going to benefit her, is the reach, right? So like you got the kicks there. Is Arden really going to try and catch a kick, try to take you down? I mean, maybe I'm gonna go Viana. Like I'll see how I'm betting, but like, bro, these last 3 fights, bro, I ain't inspired, bro. You're not gonna. It's not inspiring for me. I'm a poet,
See,
bro.
maybe Alice wrestles. We're both going with different fighters here. I'm going on the side of Ardalian. You're going on the side
Yep.
of Viana. We'll move on to our next bout, which is like pretty much the same person, bro. Both these dudes. Look at this. We got Andre Petrosky taking on Cody Brundage. Listen, bro, fucking flip a coin, huh? Flip a coin, bro.
We flip a coin. We know who's gonna win here.
I know who's gonna win. If they fight how they're supposed to, they should win. It should be a pretty dominant victory. Petrovsky last time out lost to Cam Austin via KO. Brundage last lost to Dante Johnson via split decision. Petrovsky, as we know, does carry some power behind his shots. He's primarily a wrestler with solid Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He secures takedowns and controls you really well. However, he went 0 for 0 on takedown attempts against Cam Rawson and against Edmund Shabazian. Prior to that, he got dropped. Prior to getting dropped, he secured 2 of 6 takedowns. Brundage, when you look at him, he does have a wrestling background. He's heavy-handed striker. He can scrap if you're willing to bang it out with him. We saw what he did against the Cuban Missile, right? When they were just both exchanging. That was a crazy fight. He's never in a boring fight. He has entertaining fights. He's dangerous early on. Then he kind of falls apart. Who was it that he fought recently? Was it Cam Roston as well?
But Cam is
Cam Roston, bro. When Cam Roston had him against the cage, bro, and he's just sitting there taking hits, and his coach is yelling and like, "Yo, do follow the game plan." I forgot what they were coaching him. They were telling him, and he was just ignoring them, bro. He was just sitting there taking bombs. So he does fall apart as the fight progresses, but in the first round, he is. This is the other guy that you were talking about last week. Remember, I said there's 2 guys, Kyler Phillips and Cody Brundage are the 2 guys that if this was a 1-round division, they'd be champs of the world. Cody Brundage here should be able to put out Andre Petrosky, man.
Really?
Yeah, I think Andre Petrosky has a chin, bro. Look, Andre Petrosky has a chin, bro. I'm gonna go with Cody Brundage here.
I'm going with Petrosky. I think Petrosky gets it done. And Petrosky comes up with the I thought we were in agreement here. I thought we were both going with the.
No, I'm going with Cody Brundage, bro. Listen, bro. Edmund Shabazian dropped them.
Edmund's good though. Edmund's good.
You're saying Cody's not good, bro? He doesn't have power, bro. I think Cody gets it done here, bro. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's probably facing like contract, like the possibility of him getting cut. But he's done favors for the UFC. He's came in on short notice. I think here he should be okay. Petrosky, I haven't really liked him since that Edmund fight, man. It looked like he was going well. He was doing good when he beat Rodolfo Vieira, right? But I don't know.
I gotta look at these odds, man. I'll take a peek in a bit because
and he's an underdog right now, bro. You're gonna give me Cody Brundage, who can hit hard, bro, who can hit as hard as Cam Roston, who can grapple as well. He's probably not the better striker than Cam Roston and what's it called, Edmund Shabazian, who's a boxer, right? But he can hit. What?
Brundage?
I'm saying Brundage is not a better striker than him, but he does have power, bro.
Yeah, no, he has. But the thing is, the fight with Marquez was just like a dog fight. You see that's where it gets in. That's where I don't think Petrosky will indulge him like the Cuban Missile. The Cuban Missile. That was his only way to win. It's like, let's make this a barn burner and see who wins. Like it's at Max Holloway point down, but for the whole fight, right? I don't think Petrosky does that, bro. I think he's gonna try to shoot. I think it takes him down a couple different times, holds him position, grounds and pounds. Hell, he might even get a sub. I'm gonna go with Petrosky here, man. I'll bet if he stays at -200 or if he goes a little bit lower. I'm not betting at high numbers.
Bet the sub. Put your fucking money where your balls are, bro. Bet the sub, bro. The sub's probably what? Plus 400?
I'll put the sub. I think he gets a sub.
Yeah, you're not gonna bet no -200 on Petrosky. You're crazy, dog. -200 on Petrosky. You got fuck you money at that point, bro. You got money that you don't care about. You just don't have to win.
My boy hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying, bro. -200 on Petrosky is crazy. Let me see.
Parlay. If you parlay it, you put a good parlay in.
Let's see. Petrosky by this submission is a plus 350. There you go. There you go. Throw it out there, bro. I want to see it. If it hits, I'll bend the knee. We'll move on. Yeah, we'll move on. We're on opposing ends. I'm going with Cody Brundage. You're going with Andre Petrosky. Right. We'll move on to our next bout. We have Ketlin Vieira taking on Jacqueline Cavalcante. Don't give me the whole spiel for this fight as well. Like, oh, fought tougher competition, yada, yada, yada. Is that what you're saying, bro? I already see you. You're smirking. Ketlin Vieira last lost to Norma Dumont via split decision. Cavalcante last beat Mayra Bueno Silva via unanimous decision. When you look at Vieira, she's a well-rounded fighter with a strong grappling base. She's known for her BJJ submission skills and her background in judo, right? She's dangerous in the clinch. That's what she looks to. She looks to close the distance, get in that clinch, take you down, and then work once on the ground. She lost a close fight to Norma Dumont where she was out-strike and out-pressured. And guess who she's going up against? A pressure striker who has good footwork, and Cavalcante, who has good movement, good footwork. She utilizes her length really well and fights at range. She is technical, does apply pressure and a pace, but she prefers to utilize that movement and pick you apart. Against Silva, she dictated the pace and outstruck her by popping that jab and moving, sticking and moving. And they're going to be fighting in the apex in that small little cage, right? The smaller octagon. I think Cavalcante here, who has solid takedown defense at 88%, going to be able to utilize her movement, going to be able to utilize that range and get it done here. Similar to how Norma Dumont beat Vieira, I think Cavalcante does it better.
Minus 116. Sorry, minus 162. Cavalcante right now sitting at. I mean,
I haven't even looked at the odds.
yeah,
She's
and I
the
had to
favorite.
check the odds. Yeah, she's the
I thought
favorite.
Vieira would be the favorite based on like strength of schedule, like who she's fought, the competition, the experience. But no, I think Cavalcante wins this.
This is a very interesting one. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you if Vieira managed to take this girl down, that's a big if. Like, I think the biggest issue is just she's shown signs of inconsistency across the board. If you look at her last couple fights, she hasn't really been as active. She's been active in the past year. Other than that, you got 3 years, 290. Like, hasn't really been there for me. Cavalcante is the hotter fighter when it comes to like the streaking and who she beat, how she's beat him. Damn, bro, this is an interesting one, bro. I'm gonna start with Cavalcante.
Yeah,
I'm gonna live bet. I'm gonna wait and see how that first round goes, and
this is a tough fight for her. Obviously, it's tough. It's her trying to get into the rankings, bro. I
this
think
is
where
it.
she stands there now, she's trying to get into the top 10. She's getting a crack at a top 10 fighter. So it's gonna be a tough fight. But you look at Ketlin Vieira, she should be. I don't know that Macy Chiason fight. Macy Chiason, she missed weight, right? Didn't they fight at a catch weight? I think it was a catch weight fight, and she ended up winning that fight.
Yeah, and then the other situation might be that like Vieira is like has fought like I think she's top five material. If you look at Demont's top five. If you look at
Not no more, bro. Jocelyn
Perry,
Edwards, baby. Jocelyn Edwards took her spot, baby. You remember that? Let me remind you. You remember that?
yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, no,
That's
I
crazy.
agree with you. So you're going with who,
I'm
Cavalcanti?
gonna Cavalcanti. I'm gonna see what Vieira gives us.
Right on. We're moving on to our next bout here. We have we have two debutants, man. We have Artur Minev taking on Tommy Nat.
Bro,
Is it Gant or Nat? How do you say that? Nat? I think it's Nat.
what are we doing over here, dog?
What happened?
Tommy has to be the favorite. That's for sure. Tommy's
Well,
the favorite.
Tommy's the favorite because he's coming in. He's already had a fight camp, right? We have uh, Minev, who's coming in on short notice. He's 7-0. He's coming off a KO win to Derek Campos, whereas Nat's coming off that submission win on the Dana White Contender Series via guillotine choke up against Adam Livingston. These both guys are undefeated. Somebody's zero's got to go. When you look at Nat, he's fast, he's athletic, he manages his range really well. He has okay striking, he has great grappling, pressure, and takedown entries, good wrestling, solid cardio. He's a good athletic guy, man. I think he should be the favorite here. I'm gonna pick him, but I don't want to dismiss Miniev, right? Miniev is well-rounded. He has decent grappling, solid striking, and KO power. His takedown defense hasn't been truly tested, right? Because he's fought the lesser fighters and on the regional circuit. I mean, I watched some of his tape, but he's not really being tested in the grappling. He does train with Almosov, and we saw how good he was last week when he beat Julian Alvarez. So if you're hot on that, right, this guy could be a dark horse. He could be a low-key play this weekend, but we'll see what happens, man. I'm going to go with Tommy Nat.
It's not even by that much. He's a plus 164. Like, I would have if you give me plus 300, plus 400, we'll slide a little bit of money on that. But for now, I'm gonna go with the Dana White series contender winner.
Yeah, right on. We're both sticking on the side of Tommy Nat. We'll move on to our next bout. We have Tuko Tokos taking on Ivan Erslan. Tokos last beat Junior Tafa via submission, whereas Erslan last lost to Jimmy Crute via submission. You look at Erslan, he is a good counter striker. He doesn't offensive grapple as much. Crute was able to take him down 2 of 4 times, and prior to that, Navajo Sterling was able to take him down 3 of 5 times. So he does struggle with the takedowns. He's coming up against a grappler who is a in Tuco Tokos, who's a grappler first and looks to control you. He looks to control his opponents from the top. He has good cardio. Against Tafa, he secured 5 of 8 takedowns, and against Sterling, he got 3 takedowns in that fight prior, where he still managed to lose in a decision. Right? I think Tuco is pretty durable. He's not getting knocked out. Right? He's fighting these guys like Umar Sai. Umar Sai submitted him. He's Umar Sai. He's not that good. He submitted him. Navajo Sterling, who's a pretty good prospect, right, was able to piece him up on the feet, but not put him out. And then
But
Junior Tafa, who does have knockout power, wasn't able to submit him. Whereas Urslan, you look at his record, he's getting submitted by Jimmy Crute. He's getting beaten by Navajo Sterling. And then Ian Kutalaba, right, beat him via split decision where he utilizes grappling. So I think Tuco Tokos has a clear path to victory if he utilizes his grappling. I don't think he's going to get knocked out on the feet up against a counter striker because he's not going to engage in the striking. I hope so. I'm gonna go with Tokos.
I'm going to Ursuline for now. Like I just want to, I want to go back and to see that fight with the last fight with
Yeah, he's the
Navarro.
dog. They have him as a dog. That's
Yeah,
funny.
well, Ursuline is pretty good. Like the one thing I'll say about bullhead fight Navajo is Navajo's conservative, right? Navajo doesn't really take risk. He calculates his point striking to the point, right? Um, and then you got the other issue that former champion Olberg. Well, I'm not gonna get into that. Teammates, but I'm gonna go over the Urslan, man. I think if Urslan's able to stuff the takedown, I look at the Jimmy Crute fight and I see the submission. I understand that Jimmy Crute is a problem in the first round, but if that guy fades after the first, he tends to draw or lose. So I'm gonna go with the Urslan to get it done.
What round did he submit him in?
I think it was the first round.
Is it? I didn't
Yeah,
check. Let me see.
yeah. I'll check right now. Yep, it's what I call it. Jimmy Crute is effective in the first round, bro. That boy goes to this like look, first round, majority, second round. Oh, lost. That's the thing. He's a high. He's a volatile guy, man.
You were about to glaze them, and then you saw something, and it changed. It changed your
I don't
wording.
want to do anything. We know Jimmy Crute got a
No,
conditioning
no,
issue.
but the way you were talking, you were glazing him, and then you saw something on the record. You said he's volatile. He's
No, it's just he's so volatile. Like if he doesn't get like Bellator, bro, you should have won that fight against Bellator. What happened, bro? Like you should have taken them, man. But anyways, I'm gonna go with
we're
Earth.
we're on opposing ends again here. You're going with the counter striker who can get taken down. I'm going with the grappler who can take him down. We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Next up, we have our featured prelim. We have Nikolai Baratenikov taking on Chaos Williams. This is a fun fight, man. I always say this every time I see Nicholas Baratenikov. I thought he got cut, bro. I did remember when he got crazy against Austin Vanderford. We talked
Yeah.
about it, and I don't know, for some reason I thought he got in trouble for that. Maybe we were just talking about it, right? But anyways, Baratenikov is a technical striker who can work off his jab. He's durable. He pushes the pace, utilizes his power really well. He struggles on the ground and can be taken down. But I don't think he has to worry here because Chaos hasn't utilized much grappling thus far. Chaos comes forward, has good power behind his shots, utilizes his leg kicks really well. Doesn't do well when people push a pace and have him on the back foot, as you can see in his last loss against Alexander Gustafsson. Is it Gustafsson? His first name? Yeah, Andreas Gustafsson. I was thinking about the light heavyweight, Andreas Gustafsson, right? Whereas Veretenagov last beat Nico Price, who came in on short notice via KO. This is fight, man. You have two strikers here. I think Veretenakov is going to be the better technical striker, the more patient striker, whereas Chaos Williams is going to have that knockout power, right? But he's going to have to set that up. And I think with Veretenakov not having that threat of takedown there, he's going to be able to work, right? Use his footwork, get his combinations going. I'm going to go with Veretenakov.
Yeah, I mean, Verteco. I'm gonna go with Williams just to go the opposite end. I think Williams, he shows up motivated. He could catch that boy.
Wait,
Yo,
you're going simply to be on the opposite end? What the fuck are you
I
doing,
don't
bro?
want to bet on this fight, bro. I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, the Nico Price, he looked good because it's again Nico Price. Nico Price is collecting
Short
checks at the
notice, bro. You got the call. You got the call.
he got the call. He was, hey, we got this guy. You want to take a hell yeah. And I think I like chaos. Even Andreas Gustafsson kind of got exposed in his last fight, got stopped by somebody. Yeah, no, this is an interesting fight. Nikolaev should be the like bro. It's very. Let me see. Wow. Williams is the. I'm a Williams man. I like Williams. I've always liked Williams, like his demeanors. They would have kind of put it together. Um, Maybe tire Ventrikov because the thing is Ventrikov does slow down a little bit, and he is tends to be the slower fighter. Williams is going to have that speed on him, but let's see if we can
I don't
kind
know,
of get the
man.
takedown. You don't
Ever
think?
since I saw Williams on the ground convulsing, bro, when Gabriel Bonfim choked him out, I don't know, man. Remember his eyes were behind the back of his head, bro. He was
He's
fake.
good there, bro. Gabriel Gonfalon's good. Respect
But
that
you
man.
pick, didn't you pick Chaos that fight?
I pick chaos, but
Yeah, man.
Bonfim is good.
Crazy, crazy work. Hold on. We'll move on here. We're on opposing ends again. You okay, bro? You sleepy already, bro? It's
No,
barely
I'm good,
2
bro.
p.m.
I'm
your time,
good.
bro. What are you doing? You should be lively, bro. Drink a Fanta or something.
A
Listen,
fan.
we got kicking off the card here. We have Timmy Kawamba taking on Bernardo Sopaj. If you remember, Sopaj last beat Ricky Turcios via unanimous decision, whereas Kawamba last beat Chang Ho Lee via unanimous decision. Kawamba can wrestle if he needs to. In his last fight, Chang Ho Lee was able to take him down and then gas out, right? He has solid boxing, nice speed. He looked good against Holy, right? As I mentioned, despite being controlled in the first round, he picked it up in the second and third and tore him apart on the feet. He has good cardio. And prior to that, he also looked good against Romero. Kwamba is located in Las Vegas, I believe. He is training here. He utilizes the UFC PI a lot. So he's going to be fighting at home. He's taking on Bernardo Sopaj, who has displayed impressive striking. He has a background in boxing and kickboxing. He has fast hands, good grappling offensively and defensively. He has power in his strikes, as seen before, outside the UFC, where he has secured many knockouts, right? And then if you look at that fight against Vinicius Oliveira, you got that flying knee KO loss, and he came out and beat Ricky Torcios. That fight was pretty favorable because Ricky Torcios, kind of a chaotic individual, right? Kind of a chaotic individual. So it's like when chaos meets somebody who can technically strike, it's going to be an easy path to victory, especially if they're not fully composed. So I'm gonna go with Timmy Kawamba here, man. I like him as a dog. I don't know if typology is accurate. It says he's a dog, but I think Timmy
He,
Kawamba's putting it together, man. He can wrestle. He has good cardio. His boxing's really nice, and I think he's slowly putting it together. And this is gonna be a good fight for him. Good victory.
yeah, and then like I'm gonna go with Kwamba too. I like you had that, and he really again he did very good in his last outing. Showed speed, good, resilient. Bernardo, like he was good against Turquoise, but Turquoise, I don't know. I like the reach here. Like for certain fight, he's a reach fighter. You give him a little bit of reach, he's gonna try to pick this guy apart. Like so, Posh has to really shoot for the takedowns on this one and really try to get on the inside. This reach is we're talking about 6-inch reach advantage, 3 more feet. So this is, I mean, he has to get on the inside. If he doesn't get on the inside, he's not winning this fight.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
I
gonna go
agree.
with Kwamba. No.
I agree, and I think something we talked about off air is how good, like especially after the last fight, is how good Kwama's boxing looked last time out, right? I think you were impressed with his boxing and his technical output. So I'm gonna go with Kwama, especially at dog money. I'm probably gonna slap that money line. As always, make sure you follow us on X at Combat Sport Guys, on Threads at Combat Sport Guys. We are live every fight card. We do put out our bets, our predictions, our money line parlays, props, picks, all out for free. We don't charge you anything. Also on the night of the fight, we do put out some live plays. Floor price guy generally spearheads that. He does very well. Gives you a lot of dog money plays. So it's one thing to predict a dog, to predict a prop, but to do it live is a different thing. So he does that well, and we also give you some dog plays at prior to the fight. So make sure you tap in, you check in. Always love Modestas Bukauskas taking on Christian Edwards, who's also coming in on short notice. He was originally supposed to take on Rodolfo Bellato. He pulled out. Now comes in Christian Edwards. I don't know much about Christian Edwards. I'm gonna be honest. He's 8-4. He's coming off a KO win to Glendale Whitney. What I did see is that he's a grappler first, right? He's an aggressive grappler. His striking isn't the best. He looks to take you down and work. Uh, Bukowskis, from what we notice, what we've seen thus far, he's a versatile striker who has a kickboxing background. His grappling game is slowly developing, right? He's a two-time Cage Warriors light heavyweight champion. In his last outing against Nikita Krylov, he wasn't the one initiating or applying pressure. He got walked down in a fight where he should have been the better striker, should have been able to push a pace, right, and get it done, especially against Nikita Krylov, who looks to take you down, right? So hopefully, Bukowskis looks better here. I think he's going to be able to get it done against a guy who can't strike as well as a Nikita Krylov, who's not going to apply the same pressure as he did. As long as he's defending takedowns and he's keeping on the feet, Bukowskis should be able to get a clear victory here. So I'm going to go with Bukowskis.
I'm gonna go with Bukowskis. There's nothing really to kind of like. I mean, it just feels that Bukowskis was, in order to for him to stay in the card, they just call. Jackson. Hey, we need a guy. You got a guy there that can make weight. Great. Oh, he's gonna miss weight. Okay.
Well, wait, hold on. Why is Jackson McVeigh getting strays, bro? You're hitting him with strays for
For who?
Jackson McVeigh, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm not Jackson. He was. This was. It wasn't his Bellato. Was supposed to fight this guy.
With Mulatto, yeah.
Yeah. No. Jeff Vade doesn't get strays, and don't worry about
Okay.
it.
I thought you said that. I thought you said he's a guy that you call like Jackson McVeigh and get short notice.
Oh no, Jackson, Wink, Jackson and Wink, MMA.
Oh, I thought you said Jackson McVeigh. I was like, why is
No,
he getting
McVay.
strays?
No,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's all good. McVay good. McVay is. We like him as a fighter. I think Bukowski gets it done. I mean, look, you look at the 8-4, not in the UFC. Now he's stepping into the UFC. 8-5. Bukowski's and look that fight against um, let me pronounce his last name correctly. Um, Krylov. I remember I told you Krylov was going to kind of give him a little bit of of a challenge because Krylov is not fully done. The thing is like Bukowski was coming out of a 4 fight winning streak, and he just didn't place it together. Again, another one of Tom Aspinall's training partners, right? But what's the point for you to mention that if you haven't even trained with the champ in a couple of months, right? No job, bro. But anyways, we're going with Bukowski's. Get it
Listen,
done.
that's 100% a jab. Listen, let's just address the elephant in the room, bro. You dislike Tom
I
Aspinall
just,
because he came at your boy. He came at your boyfriend, bro. He hurt your boyfriend's feelings, bro. He called him a duck, and you didn't like that. Just be honest, bro.
you know what's crazy, bro? When Tom is the champion, my boy is coming. Like you see, this is the thing about it. Like when the UFC
Listen,
decides,
listen how worked up you get, bro. Listen, you don't want to
Corey,
answer that you
bro,
have an issue with him, but you get so worked up.
bro,
Just,
give him Pereira next. I want Tom. I want Pereira.
bro, you don't think he blasts through Pereira, blast doubles him, and finishes him via guillotine, bro, rear naked choke?
I'm sorry, bro.
He's probably not gonna do that. You're right. He's probably not gonna do
He's
that.
not.
But I'm just saying that just to get a rise out of you. We don't know what's gonna
When we
happen,
get Chama time, baby. We get Chama time.
bro.
Uh,
Pereira's looking a little thick, bro. You're not concerned?
no, he's gonna. That's more of a dangerous fighter. Pereira. You know what's gonna be crazy, bro? Pereira heavyweight when he dropped them hands and he starts going against these guys because that's the thing. Pereira has a style where he drops the hands and the fighters are like, I'm just gonna throw and for moves and and counters. Like with Gon, I'm curious to see how he's gonna do with Gon because Gon is gonna be moving. He's gonna be dancing. Pereira's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting, bro. I want to see those odds for that fight. But
Yeah.
that's
All
all you
right.
have to do, bro. Just mention Tom, bro. What's
I know. I
Tom doing,
mentioned
bro?
look how worked up I got him. I mentioned Tommy. He went on a fucking rant for no reason, talking about how Pereira
Not
was gonna beat
boxing,
him, and
bro.
then he jumped into another fight.
Tom's gonna go into boxing, bro. You know what? You know what's gonna happen, bro?
Look, he's still going, bro.
No,
Let it
no, let
go,
me tell
bro.
you what's
Take a
gonna
deep
happen.
breath, bro.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen. Let me predict the future with you. Either Tom is gonna relinquish that belt and just, hey, you know what? I'm done. The UFC's gonna, of course, get the fuck out of here. We don't want to deal with Eddie Hearn. And you're gonna see, you're gonna see MVP MMA 2 or 3 against Francis Ngannou. You're gonna see it. And Eddie Hearn, bro, is gonna take that. You're gonna take that money. Okay. And Tom's gonna be like, what about boxing? He's like, what about it?
Listen, bro.
What
Bro, you see
about
the
it?
couch back? You see the couch back there, bro? You see the couch back there?
I'm dead.
No, answer. Do you see the couch back
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Tell me.
Next time you come out, bro, we're gonna lay you down back there, bro, and we're gonna have a talk, bro, about Tom, and we're gonna let it all out. We're gonna work through it, bro. Don't worry about it, okay?
Don't worry about it.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it. We'll take good care of you, bro. Like Allstate, you're in good hands.
That's
All
crazy.
right, so we're both on the side of Modestas Bukauskas to get it done. We'll move on to our next bout. We have Malcolm Wellmaker taking on Juan Diaz. Wellmaker last lost to Ethan Ewing, who came in on short notice and beat him via unanimous decision, whereas Diaz last beat Juan Tu Quan via KO on the Dana White Contender Series via spinning elbow, right? I believe it was a spinning elbow.
Yeah.
See, yeah, spinning back elbow. Listen, we've seen how good Ethan Ewing is, right? Especially after his last outing, defeating
Yeah.
an undefeated prospect in uh Rafael Estavim, right? Ewing's pretty good, man. Against Wellmaker, he was able to land some good shots, get the grappling going, test Wellmaker in all areas, and get the victory here, right? But let's not forget Wellmaker, dude. He has that left hand touch of death. He's a counter striker with good accuracy, has good speed, good power. He utilizes his jab really well to set up his shots well. His takedown defense has held well, but hasn't really been tested to its absolute limit, right? Like Ethan Ewing was able to get a couple off, but it was mainly a striking battle. And even in that fight, Wellmaker was able to tag Ethan Ewing a couple
Yeah.
times, right? Like we saw how good of a chin Ethan Ewing has, that big ass head. Like we saw like how many hits he could take. And now he's going up against an individual in Juan Diaz, who's a come forward active striker who can grapple and chase submissions as well. He's durable. He fights at a pace and moves forward, does a good job switching it up if he needs to. And I think here, like watching his fight on the Contender Series, he was getting tagged with a couple lefts. He was getting tagged on the feet prior to getting that spinning elbow. Like he does throw kind of chaotic. And you're going up against an individual, Malcolm Wellmaker, who can like a mini Uber, right? He could step out and hit you with that check hook at any time. It's gonna be long, bro. Now, for Juan Diaz to have some success, he's gonna have to test the grappling of Wellmaker, but pretty sure Wellmaker has been practicing on that. So I'm not fully off the Wellmaker bandwagon here. I think he's gonna look good. I think he's gonna be able to put this guy out. But we'll see, man. It's gonna be the taller fighter. He's gonna have the more reach too. So if this fight, if this how you know Wellmaker's winning this fight, if you see this guy Juan Diaz just start going for these takedowns, because he's respecting the power of Wellmaker, right? So I'm gonna go with Wellmaker to get it done.
I'm gonna go Womack. I'm gonna parlay him with Bukowski's Tom Aspinall's training partner. I'm gonna see.
You're still on it, bro. You gotta move on, bro. You can't hold no grudges in life, bro. What I
How's
tell
that
you,
eye,
bro?
bro? Yeah.
You gotta take that weight off your shoulders,
Another
baby.
eye. You think he's gonna do another eye YouTube video, bro? 1 hour, 1 hour with Tom, bro, where he takes you to the hospital, bro, and he you get to talk with the doc. Yeah, it's serious. It's serious.
Let me defend Tom in this case, bro. Have you ever seen Tom hang out with a grown man who has what is it, a growth deficiency or whatever it is, like in Hezbollah, and get erect?
That's crazy. That's the go, bro. That's the go.
Or does that excuse him for his
Listen, bro.
actions, bro? Listen, bro, he got a little aroused, bro. That was a little
People
weird, bro. He got a little aroused. You
people
gotta
like
admit, he
Michael
was a little
Jackson.
aroused.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go
Well,
to.
why are you ignoring? I'm asking you. Is that weird or no?
Oh, that's the go. The go will be back, bro. Wait till Pereira wins, bro. Wait till Pereira wins, bro. You know,
What a way to escape past the whole
bro.
fucking
Wait till
topic here.
Pereira wins,
You
bro.
should have been a politician, bro. You just ignored
The
everything I
go's
said,
coming
bro.
back, bro. If I could predict anything, Pereira wins. John relinquishes the belt, goes to MVP. John steps up. You know, you did the Sphere. You did what was the other one? The White House. What do you do now,
You're still
bro?
going on
You do a
about Tom
volcano, bro.
Aspinall, bro. It's
Put
crazy.
those boys on a volcano.
All right, let's move on to our next bout. We're almost through this. We have our co-main event. We have Do Hoi Choi taking on Daniel Santos, Willie Cat. This is a good fight, man. You have Do Ho Choi, who last beat Nate Landwehr, 40-year-old Nate Landwehr via KO. Right? Santos last beat Ju Sang Yu via KO, where he did miss weight, if you remember. But look at Santos. He's a striker with a Muay Thai base. He's a shoot the box style fighter. He averages about 5.5 significant strikes per minute with a 47% accuracy. He's decent takedowns at 65% and has shown he does have knockout power. We have seen him lay them paws, right? He has good jiu-jitsu, but he can't be taken down, right? And against Choi, who's never in a boring fight. We saw that last time out. He has missed some time due to his obligation to join the military, right? Like we saw him against Kyle Nelson, he lost. He had the majority decision draw, and then he left for about 2 years. He had to do his mandatory 2 years military service. He beat Bill Algeo and then Nate Landwehr, right?
Yeah.
So he's a striker first with power behind his shots. He has decent takedown defense, stays active and pretty composed, doesn't throw wildly, has been MIA, as I mentioned. Interesting fight, man, because Daniel Santos did move up in weight recently, correct? Like he was
Yeah.
at bantamweight and he moved up. And since then, I mean, he's looked pretty good, man. I mean, he did miss weight, which kind of was unfortunate in his last fight. Gonna be the shorter fighter with the shorter reach here, man. Uh, I'm torn, man.
You like Willie Cat, bro. This man's a Willie Cat.
I know, but I didn't like how he missed weight last time, right? And he was able to kind of like bully his opponent, right, after missing weight. Okay, what was he, like 5 pounds over?
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah, he was
But
5 pound over.
what's
So
funny too, like if you see pictures of Daniel Santos in another organization, he looks ripped. And when my guy shows up at fight night, my my guy looking a little bit barriga verde, if you know what I'm saying.
Marica Mele, that's hilarious.
Little,
He's
little,
looking like our boy. What's our boy's name with the traps?
oh yeah, the guy
Louis,
that
Louis Sutherland, bro. He's looking like Louis
Sutherland,
Sutherland,
bro.
bro.
He
Listen,
look,
this fight, I'm gonna go with Choi. I do like Santos here, but I think striker versus striker both can defend the takedowns, and I think Duho Choi does have a threat of ground as well, right? Like once on the ground, even though he has good solid takedown defense, he can offensively grapple as well and get submissions or ground and pound. So I'm gonna go with Duho Choi. He's gonna be the bigger fighter. He's gonna be the lengthier fighter. His striking's good. He's gonna be composed. So I'm gonna go with Choi. I'm not gonna bet on this fight.
dude, you know what? I was actually like, I had to open up another window to give it a glance at this whole card. I don't feel comfortable in this card. I feel like I could lose a lot of money in this
Bro,
card.
I just realized that I picked a lot of dogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this fight is sorry, this card is, but it might be a live betting fight, right? Like it might be. I'm taking the boy to the theater, and I should be back by like 6 p.m. So I'm gonna probably have missed a couple prelims, but I'm looking at this fight and like I can't, I feel like I've had a good run of like predictions, but I can't, like I don't know with these guys. I don't. I'm gonna go with Choi. I think Choi gets it done. Like yeah, no, like that's the thing about it. Like I think I'm good with the Bukowskis and a whatchamacallit parlay. What's the other cat? Not Petrovsky, bro. Even Petrovsky, I'm a little bit scared about. You just called it right now. No, I'll find it in a bit. Oh, here it is.
Well maker.
Wallmaker and Bukowski parlay. I think at a minus 130. And I know, oh shit, it's not money. It is money. It's just like, but I don't. I fear, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, my boy. We're a little bit timid on this fight card.
Listen, this is where fucking men are made, bro. So you gotta fucking, sack up and handle your shit.
I
I'm
know.
sorry to break it down to you like that, bro, but this is what this is what
Fine, bro.
separates the boys from the men, bro.
It's fine.
Hell yeah. So we're both on the side of Choi in the co-main event. We'll move on to our main event, which is a banger of a fight. We have two southpaws. Can you believe that we have two southpaws going at it in the main event? We have Melskisael Costa taking on Arnold Allen. Costa last time beat Dan Ige via KO, where he put him out for the first time in his career, and he called it. And guess what? We also gave you that prop at plus money, if you remember, if you've been following, if you've been listening. Prior to that, he knocked out Morgan Shire, giving him his first knockout loss in his career. So Costa is on a little hot streak right now. He's showcasing his power. He's going up against Arnold Allen, who made his return after some time off and then losing to Gene Silva via unanimous decision, where Gene Silva got some of the wrestling going, right? In that fight. Uh, Prior to that, he beat Giga Chikadze, he lost to Mazvar Evloev, and he lost to Max Holloway. So he's losing to guys in that top 5 round, right? He's not losing to scrubs. So you have two southpaws. You have Allen, who fights well at range. He's a solid striker with that kickboxing background and decent technique. He can grapple and he can scramble really well. He likes to utilize that cross block as we talked about in the past. He fights at his pace and throws with output. He throws solid combinations, but doesn't have that single knockout power, which has evaded him in his career. He's going up against Melquisel Costa, who, as I mentioned, is riding high off of that KO victory to Dan Ige. He's pretty well rounded, man. He has solid Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. He can scramble off the ground. He can, however, be taken down, right? I think he's at his best when he's fighting from range, utilizing that Muay Thai, utilizing those kicks. But I guess here he's fighting a guy with similar stance, so I don't know how accurate or how effective those kicks are going to be when he's throwing them to the legs, right? But he mixes it really well. It's a tough fight to call, man, because it is 5 rounds, right? Arnold Allen has had 5 round experience in the past, and we have seen Costa get tired before. So early lean, like in the early rounds, Costa can be dangerous. I don't think he's gonna put out somebody like Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen has been, fighting the best of the best. I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen here, man, to get it done. I think that experience, right? We talk about experience. We talked about that in the earlier fights. I think it's gonna be shown here.
Yeah, and like and Allen had a good first round against Silva. Like I put some money on Allen, but then I saw him Silva taking over, him not challenging enough. Silva's output was a little bit too intense for him. But like if you look at it, this man has fought like Ivalo. I saw him fight in Canada. Uh,
But also too, that I forgot to mention is that fight against Gene Silva was his fight coming back after 2 years. So he might have had a little bit of octagon rust, right? And it took him a minute to get into the flow of things, and to come back and fight somebody like Gene Silva, who just came off of a loss to Diego Lopez, who was coming out for blood, and you survive and you take him to a decision. I mean, he's pretty much fight ready now, man, right? And he's going up against Melquisel Costa. It's gonna be a good fight, but I'm gonna go with Allen here.
we put money on Allen, bro, on the Bukowski will maker parlay, bro. We, we go
Run it,
from
bro.
minus 130
Run
to
it,
plus
bro. Run it.
197. I'm telling you
Run
right
it,
now.
bro.
Listen, bro, you bet that one, bro. I know America's doing rough with the gases, bro. But that's it, bro.
Listen, brother, we're getting cooked right now, bro. Listen, I ride a motorcycle, right? And never in my life have I had to put $22 to fill up my tank in my motorcycle, bro. It's always $10, $11, get me through 2, 3 weeks, right? $22, bro. I looked up at the
you're
pump, I was like, yo, what are we doing? This is like this used to be a half tank of gas on my car. Now the car is like 180, bro.
my
This is
boy.
ridiculous.
You
Your
should
boy's
have voted.
struggling, bro. Listen,
You should
I
have
need
voted
these
for
bets to hit,
so,
man.
bro.
I'm about to lose the house, bro. I need these bets to hit. I'm just kidding.
I'm
Can you
sorry.
imagine, bro? I'm just kidding.
You
Go
never
ahead.
know, right? Like, but look, I mean, Costa's a dog here. I mean, dude, like, if Costa comes out and just starches Allen, bro, what the fuck? Like, can you imagine?
Hey, bro, it's not, listen, we always say you don't get submitted or you don't get knocked out until you do, right? And Costa here can do something crafty, bro. He can do something crazy. He has all the confidence in the world, but I don't know, man. I'm also scared too because a lot of dogs have been winning these main events. And Costa's looking good
Nah,
at a dog race.
don't put that reason. I mean,
Nah,
I
you're right. Thank you for keeping me grounded,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, no, that can't be the only reason. I think Melky is live here. Melky, and that's what you're getting it at this odd. And people have picked Melky. That's what I'm telling you, bro. Fuck this whole card, bro. Like
Bro,
this
I
is a
didn't realize Choi was a dog. I picked him, bro. He's plus one. I picked nothing but dogs,
bro.
bro.
Put your money. Listen, you put your money where your mouth is.
Listen, bro.
You're.
You listen.
It's gonna be a
We're
good
both on
weekend.
the side. We're both. Are you gonna pick Allen or Costa?
I'm gonna go with Allen.
Okay, we're both on the side of Allen, guys. But listen, I'm just gonna throw a flyer bet, right? You do Cody Brundage at a plus 175,
Oh,
right?
bro, don't do that.
And then you do a Daniel Barres plus
Oh,
505, bro. Plus 505. That's crazy. It could be one of those cards, bro. They have a week off. It could be one of those cards. We've seen it where when a bunch of dogs win. What was that, like 2 fight cards ago? When all the dogs won? It's like
look,
8 dogs won. Remember that?
yeah, like in this card, you put a couple of like. There's a lot of dog money here in this card. You put fivers, bro. You put a couple fivers there. You put three guys in. Oh man.
Listen, you do Timmy Kawamba, bro. Listen, I'm confident on Timmy Kwamba. I like Timmy Kwamba. This is what I would do. I would do a Timmy Kwamba and a Malcolm Wellmaker for a plus 220. I'm cool with that. Half a
Plus,
unit, $100, whatever. I'm cool with that.
why you know Bukowski is a lock, no?
I don't trust Bukowski after his last fight, bro.
Nah, he should be. He should
He
perform.
didn't look good in that. Like sometimes fighters lose and they look good in a loss, right? Like Malcolm Wellmaker, he
I
looked good
think
in a
he'll look good
loss.
in the loss.
So that's why I'm confident in Mel
I
Waker.
think
But
the goal was Timmy. Timmy
I like Timmy, bro. I really liked his last outing. Granted, that guy is not known for his striking, right? Who he fought against, but
plus.
anyways, man.
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
wrapping
you
it up.
asked earlier before we go. You asked what the odds are for Ciro Gane and Pereira. You want to take a guess?
Minus three, minus 250 Pereira.
Really, you're that confident? The odds currently are minus 115 Pereira, minus 105 Gane. People are giving love to Gane as
Really?
of now. As of now, Diego Lopez is a minus 185 against Steve Garcia. Ilia Topuria minus 800. Justin Gaethje plus 550. Damn, they got no faith in Gaethje, bro. Who can wrestle, bro?
Oh
He's probably gonna
shit!
get finished, right? Sean
Nah,
O'Malley minus 400 against Ayman Zahabi. Bro, what are we doing,
as
bro?
a Canadian, bro, listen, respect my guys. My boy
Listen,
was.
bro, you're Canadian, right? You're Canadian. What do you think about Ayman Zahabi, bro? You think he's gonna get it done? Or you think he gets starched?
I think he gets searched.
This is a good fight for Sean O'Malley, right? Striker versus striker. But anyways, we'll talk
I
about
think
that when we talk about that, guys.
like Sean. If I'm Sean, I'm doing a lot of running, a lot of cardio, a lot of stuff. Like,
If I'm
dude,
Sean, bro, I'm focusing on that counter striking. He's a counter striker. He's a sniper, right? So just go back to your roots. This guy's not gonna take you down, bro. Well, he might try to take you down, but
you need to be careful with this guy. The thing is, this guy is like, if he relies, here's what I think could happen. He could rely on the striking. If he doesn't put him out, all of a sudden, Zahabi outstrikes Sean,
yeah,
right?
we saw it with Basharat. We saw it with Basharat, yeah.
Yeah, which I would Bosch, yeah, same thing. If you're not careful, same with thing with Vera. Vera thought he was winning that fight until he realized, oh shit, uh, I don't have enough striking. Like I didn't do enough. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how this fight is. Like, bro, like this is a it's a rough card. I have to say it's a rough card in terms of picks and bets and like I like Choi. Like I'll do a couple creative bets.
But yeah, we've been on opposing ends for a lot of these fights. I picked a lot of dogs. Fuck it, bro. I'm a dog, bro. I got compared to a dog the other day, bro. Isn't
That's
that
crazy.
crazy?
That's
Someone
crazy.
told me I look like someone. No, nobody said I look like any dogs. I do not look like a dog, but somebody said I remind them of a golden retriever, bro. And I said, why do I remind you of a golden retriever? And they responded with, because you're always happy. You're always in a good mood. So I was like, okay, cool.
Hey,
All right. So I guess I'm a dog, man. I got to stick with my dogs, baby. But
that's a
anyways,
baddie, bro. That's a baddie. Anyway, take it home, bro. Take us home. Take it home.
take us home, bro. We're getting out of here. Listen, as always, follow us on X. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe on YouTube. At Combat Sport Guys on X, at Combat Sport Guys on Threads, at Combat Sport Guys on Instagram. We're always available, always active. Interact with us, send us a DM, whatever it is. As always, man, any parting words from you?
Take it home, baby.
Right on, baby. Love what you love, do what you do. Peace.